What is going on, Trash Talkers? We are back with another episode for you. In today's video, we're going to give you our draft profile and analysis for Georgia linebacker Nakobe Dean. All that and much more coming your way right now. All right, Nick, just a couple of weeks away from April's 2022 NFL Draft, and today we're going to be talking about Georgia linebacker Nakobe Dean. Nakobe Dean is one of those versatile linebackers that can do a lot of things really well, but struggles with some of the other things. When you take a look at his stature, 6 feet tall, 225 pounds, PFF's ranked number 2 inside linebacker. When we take a look at his pro comp, we see Patrick Queen, the big linebacker from the Baltimore Ravens. When you take a look at Dean's stats, though, 3 years at the University of Georgia, 36 games, 168 total tackles, 13.5 tackles for loss, 7.5 sacks, 2 interceptions, 7 passes defensed, and 3 forced fumbles. This guy had a lot of different stats that he was able to accomplish. But why don't you tell us a little bit more about the strengths and weaknesses in his game?
Absolutely. By the stats, it doesn't look like Nakobe Dean truly accomplished a lot through his 3 years at Georgia, but this guy was one of the best pass coverage linebackers that we saw in all of college football. This guy was able to go sideline to sideline, handle coverage against wide receivers, tight ends, you name it. He was able to do it in coverage. And we saw that he's able to fire into the backfield, really explosive and able to get into the backfield and get pressure onto the quarterback. But looking at those weaknesses, he does struggle finishing and actually getting off of his blocks when he is covered up by an offensive lineman. He does struggle when he is in a run coverage situation. When he needs to get past the offensive line, he does struggle in that situation. Nakobe Dean has shown that he can do one thing extremely well, and that's cover in the pass game. But when you need him to help out in the run game, it's a totally different story, and that's where he's going to really need to improve his game.
We're taking a look at potential fits for Nakobe Dean's game. We start off with the Philadelphia Eagles, who have 3 first-round draft picks, could be looking to replace Alex Singleton, the big-time, big-play linebacker that they lost in free agency. I think the Philadelphia Eagles have the perfect scheme around Nakobe Dean to fit his play style and would be a great fit to draft him in the first round.
The Tennessee Titans are also another team that could look for Nakobe Dean. They just lost Jayon Brown in free agency, and they need to replace him. They got Harold Landry a couple years ago, who was a pure pass rusher off of the edge, and that worked out pretty well. They like these specialists, and Nakobe Dean would fit perfectly in the middle of that Tennessee defense.
Another team that could truly utilize a pass coverage linebacker would be the Kansas City Chiefs. With the insane talent that has now come into the AFC West, they need athletic linebackers that can cover in the pass game now more than ever. Nakobe Dean would be a perfect fit for this Chiefs defense. Working in Steve Spagnuolo's system, Nakobe Dean would become one of the most feared coverage linebackers in the NFL.
And finally, the Detroit Lions, they are still looking to improve this defense, and the middle of that defense is still missing a Mike linebacker. They need a guy who can really command this defense, and he did that at Georgia. You can expect him to translate extremely well into Dan Campbell's defense.
There's a lot of great potential fits for Nakobe Dean in the NFL, but I want to hear from you guys. Let us know in the comments down below where you expect Nakobe Dean to get drafted and who your pro comp is for him. All right, well, that's going to be all for now. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. We go live every single day. That'll be all. Peace and love.